Hey guys, it's Arvin Vohra. This is a summary of the campaign meeting that we just had for those who either couldn't make it or are having some issues while seeing the video. So in this first phase of the campaign, which is going from now to this November, not all the way to next November, November 2017, we're going to be working on social media. And the goal of social media, of our social media outreach, is essentially going to be to try to create as much blowback as we can. Our goal is to spread these messages far and wide, so far, in fact, that people who see our material get so mad that they call up their grandmother or grandfather, tell them how mad they are, not realizing that their grandmother or grandfather actually agrees with us. We want people to be spreading our message through their own rage and anger at being triggered. So we're going to be attacking the sacred cows of the state. The mechanics through which we're going to do this, in this first phase of social media, is very, very simple. We're going to be making graphic templates that are going to have basically a picture of me with an area where you put some kind of a quote, and the quotes should be designed to specifically reject, this is important, reject the paradigms of the left and the right. So instead of finding a way to make something appealing to the right or appealing to the left, we're going to try to find ways to make them unappealing to either the right or the left. We don't want people to say, like, yes, I agree with this and I can still keep my current identification as a conservative or a liberal. It's got to be so different that if you agree with it, you have to leave your current ideology. The other important thing is we're trying to create and embolden, we're basically trying to embolden those who are currently scared into silence. People who believe, for example, that if you have kids, that doesn't mean you get the right to steal from others to pay for their education. We want to attract people not just who think that, for example, government schools are bad, but that you have no right to rob for that. So that is a big group of people that currently is too scared to speak. They don't want to deal with the blowback. Many of them message me on Facebook publicly, a lot more message me on Facebook privately. And they're saying they don't want to speak publicly because they don't want the blowback, and that's fine. It's my job to take the blowback, but it's all of our jobs to generate that blowback. And we want that blowback to be humongous, as big as we can possibly make it. So here's what we're going to do. First, we're going to have our designers, who actually already some folks are volunteering to do this, to create the templates that the rest of us will fill in. Now, creating the templates, that takes some graphic skill, but filling them in, I mean, anyone can do that. I'll be filling in at least 100 during the course of this campaign. Hopefully you guys will be able to join me in this process. Where do we get the text? You can get it from my page. Those of you who follow me on social media, if you think there's something I should say, just tell me and I'll say it, and then we can turn that into a quote to post on there. And again, we want to have these focusing on the biggest sacred cows of the state. If you want to know what they are, military, government schools, Social Security, Medicare. Those are the big ones. There might be other things from time to time that we also want to talk about, but we're going to be doing them in a way designed to reject the paradigms of the left and right. Simple example, with marijuana or cannabis, we do not want to say tax and regulate marijuana like wine at all. We want to say legalize it, legalize every other drug, don't regulate it at all, don't have any licensing restrictions, let people get involved in entrepreneurship in there instead of wasting their time in government schools or in colleges learning social justice. Let's have people learn some entrepreneurship. So the idea is we want to take everything should be like libertarian social, libertarian fiscal, hardcore libertarian in a way not at all designed to overlap with anybody else. It must be seen as a new and radically different ideology from what people have seen before. It should not be something that people have used in the past and it doesn't work at all, where people say, oh, I'm a Republican, but I kind of agree with what you're saying, because they're still identifying as a Republican. The cost of agreeing must be to change your self-identification. We cannot do what people have done in the past, where they get people sort of agreeing, in September, usually libertarian candidates are polling around 15%, and then on the day of, they actually get 1%, and to get to that original 15%, they've usually sacrificed their principles and said all kinds of stupid nonsense. We don't want to do that. We don't want to compromise one tiny inch on this in terms of our messaging, at least not in this first phase. Later phase we'll talk about, later on. So some of the folks are going to be creating the templates. Some of us are going to be filling in the templates. And then some of us are going to be involved in actually posting the images once they're completed. If you want to post the images, just let me know. I'll set you up on the main page, or you can post them from your personal page if you're okay with doing that, or if you want a county page or something like that, or a libertarian activism page, post it from there. It's good because it's good for you because it obviously brings more traffic to you. It's also good for us because we want these images coming from multiple sources. That's just a way to handle some of the social media internal algorithms. So anyway, long story short, our goal is to create a large number of image memes. That basically means a face or the picture photograph of the candidate, in this case me, plus a quote. We also want to be encouraging other campaigns to do this. So we're kind of going to be setting hopefully an example and hopefully a trend that many other candidates will follow. So we want to do a lot of it, not a very small amount of it. If all we can do is a small amount, great, and I'm very thankful. But if we can do a lot, well, even better, and I'll be, of course, even more thankful. So just go to the campaign page, sign up for whatever you're willing to do. If you're willing to do one of these things, if there's something else that maybe you're not really into social media, fine. We're going to be talking about many other parts of this campaign in upcoming meetings. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being a part of this campaign. All right, let's go start triggering some folks.